Hi everybody, it's LA. Recently Superfruit decided to share one of their ghost stories and asked people if they have ghost stories of their own. I have several, but one that a paranormal event that happened this year was okay. I was trying to decide whether or not I wanted to go to DragCon, which is a event for drag queens. RuPaul was going to be there, and I kept having this overwhelming feeling that if I don't go, something's going to happen and I'm not going to get a chance to tell someone, tell RuPaul. I was thinking it was RuPaul. I won't be able to tell RuPaul how much he has changed my life. So a few things happened. I was thinking about it, and I went to a friend's house and we ended up watching a show, and poof, all of a sudden there were drag queens in it, and a few other things where it was just boom, all of a sudden either RuPaul was there or one of the drag queens from RuPaul's Drag Race were there. So I thought I need to trust my instinct because none of us know, when tomorrow what might, not happen. So, um, but the last straw in my decision whether to go or not was I was having problems with my internet. So I had called my internet provider and I press this for this and then press 297 to speak to a human. So I was waiting, and in the background I heard like seagulls and waves like hitting the shore and kids laughing, and I thought, this is really weird, like elevator type music. It's kind of creepy. But when the guy came on the phone, then the sound didn't go away. And just before he came on, I started hearing Lisa go back, which my first name is Lisa, so I would hear some boy yelling, Lisa, go back. And so the guy comes on the phone and it's still happening. It's still in the background. So I'm trying to focus on what he's saying. And then I was just like, okay. So I was like, I'm getting some interference. Do you hear that? And he was like, no. So I was like, okay, going insane. I will be certifiably insane instead of just partially insane. So I tried to put my phone on speakerphone so I could record it, and it didn't show up on speakerphone. So then I put it back up to my ear, but I recorded. So I do have a small recording of the noise in the background. But it wasn't until I got off the phone that I realized that it was my godbrother and one of my best friends growing up who passed away when I was 12 and he was 8. So then it's like, okay, Jeremy's telling me to go. I don't have a choice anymore, so I'm gonna go. And it wasn't until the past 2 weeks that I found out, like, when I was in LA, I went and saw a friend before the convention, and then two of my friends came up after the convention, and then a little more than 2 weeks ago, those two friends were found dead in their house. So if it hadn't have been for Jeremy telling me to go back, I don't know that I would have seen them before they passed away. So that is my kind of creepy, and just that people that we love are still there. So I'll tell you a few more stories. I once lived in a house that was over 100 years old, and there were four different friends there. Um, there was a old man and his son, and then there was a little girl. Traumatic events can make an imprint, like a fingerprint on a house, so that you can hear that event like an echo every day. So we kind of figured out that the little girl had fallen down the stairs from listening to this echo. And so um, I researched it after, and indeed, some girl about 6 or 7 did die by falling down our back stairs. So that was kind of cool. But none of those people, the people that I used to live with in the house, they moved, and none of the spirits moved with them. So there's still 4. Um, but one of the spirits, she liked to pinch your butt. If you went up a certain staircase, she would goose you. So, um, that's what made some people that didn't believe in ghosts, just by going up or down those stairs. So, and then there was another time where, um, it was a house I lived and worked in, and we had another staff member that was staying overnight, and I went down to do laundry, and then I went back upstairs. He came downstairs and he's like, "Were you on the treadmill a few minutes ago?" I'm like, "No, I was switching the laundry over." And he's like, "The treadmill was running when I came downstairs." So I looked over the treadmill, it was unplugged. So he left the house, needless to say, and was not comfortable with staying over ever again, which was hilarious. So, and another one from that house is um, someone heard scratching from the attic in their room. They heard scratching, and um, so they banged on the door a few times and it would stop, and then they would leave, and the person in the room would be like, "Okay, it's happening again." So he moved into another room for the evening, and the next day we opened the door because we thought, okay, it's a mouse, or the scratch marks on the door were up like 3 feet, so the chance of it being a rat or a mouse, pretty rare. So we put the prayer of Saint Michael in English and Latin on the door, and it never happened again. So, um, yeah, but just remember, there are people that generally they're people that either don't know that they're dead, or are stuck. So they're not trying to hurt you. Um, Research your house if you are noticing that you are having events, and know that any like major change in a sensitive person's life can cause there to be phenomenon where there is no spirit, especially someone going through their teenage years. It's super fun because yeah, it's interesting. So I know from experience myself, I can see people. They're not allowed in my house. They're all saged out, unless it's kind of like an exclusive party. My apartment is by invitation only, spirit wise. So that is possible if anyone needs help. But those are my ghost stories. I have um, lived around friends for a while. It used to be scary when I was younger, but now it's just like, okay, whatever. So generally, it doesn't freak me out anymore. But those are my scary stories, and I'm really fortunate um, in the first one that I trusted my gut and trusted Jeremy enough to go, because I would have regretted not going, and I enjoyed spending some last little time with them. So, anyway, I hope you have a happy Halloween, and if you are Wiccan or Pagan, a blessed Samhain, and I will see you later. Bye.